I took a sip of my coffee and nearly choked when I read the letter. It wasn't a bill. It wasn't a tax notice. No, it was something far worse. According to the pristine, official-looking document, my 50-acre property, the same land my grandfather had worked himself half to death on, the same land I'd poured my sweat, time, and beer money into, was no longer entirely mine. Apparently, the Homeowners Association, a group I had never once been a part of, had decided, without my knowledge or consent, that my ranch was now designated as community land for the entire neighborhood. I squinted at the words, reread them, and did the only logical thing. I laughed. Hard. But that laughter died the moment I hit the line that read, effective immediately, all fences, barriers, or private property signage must be removed in accordance with HOA guidelines. That was when my coffee mug hit the floor, shattering into 100 pieces. A slow, burning rage curled in my chest. These people were actually serious. They were trying to steal my land. An hour later, I stood at my front gate as a tan sedan with a ridiculous HOA emblem on the side rolled up my driveway like it owned the place. Out stepped Nancy Whitaker, a middle-aged woman stuffed into a blazer 3 sizes too small. She clutched a clipboard like it gave her divine authority and strutted up to me with the smug confidence of someone who had never been punched in the face. Behind her were 2 more HOA board members, equally overdressed and equally obnoxious, hovering like buzzards. "Mr. Callahan," Nancy said in a voice syrupy with fake politeness. "We sent you the notice about the community land designation. We'd like to discuss next steps." I folded my arms and stared, letting the silence drag just long enough to get awkward. "Next steps?" I said finally. "Yeah, I've got a next step. It's called trespassing laws." Nancy chuckled like she found me adorable. "Oh, I think there's been a misunderstanding. You see, our board voted unanimously to include your land within the HOA's jurisdiction. Your property has historically been open to community members for hiking and leisure." Historically? I cut her off. "The only thing this land's historically been used for is ranching. And my land isn't part of your HOA." She gave me a condescending smile. "It is now." I waited for the punchline. It never came. She actually believed this nonsense. The 2 board members behind her nodded along like parrots. I felt an overwhelming urge to chuck something at all 3 of them. Instead, I took a deep breath. "Let me get this straight. You people who don't own so much as a weed on this land held a vote and decided my private property now belongs to you." Nancy tilted her head like she was talking to a particularly dense child. "Not to us, Mr. Callahan. To the community." I was still processing the insanity when a silver SUV rolled up. The doors opened and out poured a family of 2 parents, 2 kids, and a golden retriever marching straight into my pasture like it was a public park. "Whoa, whoa, whoa," I shouted, heading toward them. "What do you think you're doing?" The dad, a balding guy in a golf polo, smiled like I was the one trespassing. "Oh, Nancy said the HOA opened this land for public use," he said, tossing a frisbee to his kid. "We figured we'd check it out." Nancy followed, placing a firm hand on my shoulder like we were old buddies. "This is exactly what we meant, Dean community members enjoying their space." I shrugged her hand off and turned to the family. "This isn't your space. This is my land." The wife looked confused. "But the HOA said." "I don't give a damn what the HOA said," I growled. "Get off my property." The husband frowned. "No need to be rude, pal." I was 2 seconds away from explaining just how rude I could be when more cars started rolling in. Families unloaded folding chairs, coolers, and picnic baskets like I'd invited them all to a backyard bash. My ranch was being invaded in real time. I turned to Nancy, out of patience. "Get these people off my land. Now." She widened her eyes in fake innocence. "Oh, Dean, there's no need to be hostile. This transition will go smoother if we all cooperate." I stepped closer and lowered my voice. "Nancy, I swear on my granddad's grave, if you don't get off my land right now, I will personally walk you off this driveway with a garden hose." That finally cracked her smug shell. She sniffed, adjusted her blazer, and muttered, "Well, I suppose we'll have to escalate this matter." She turned sharply and stomped back to her car. Her lackeys followed, and the crowd of intruders, finally realizing something was off, started trickling back to their vehicles. As Nancy got into her sedan, she tossed me a last warning. You'll be hearing from our lawyer. I grinned slow and wide. And you'll be hearing from my shotgun.